I recently was brave enough to go to Trader Joe's and grab a bunch of things that I could need for the next like 2 weeks and tried to get some inspiration to make some new recipes, some fun ideas for food that we can cook that's different. And a lot of these recipes are on the website of Trader Joe's, and I will link those recipes down below. And a lot of these recipes don't have to be from Trader Joe's. Obviously, they can be from any grocery store. It just happens to be that Trader Joe's is the store that I chose. An egg and pesto prosciutto nest recipe. And basically, you just need prosciutto. They say polenta. We're not going to use polenta. Tomatoes, eggs, pesto, and we don't have basil, unfortunately. We're gonna set the oven to 400 degrees. I really highly recommend these little reusable cup molds. I'll link them down below from Amazon, but they're the best. You just rinse them out and keep using them. I'm gonna spray each mold with a little bit of avocado oil just to make sure it doesn't stick. Even though these molds typically don't stick, but just in case. And then using prosciutto, I'm gonna wrap prosciutto around the edges and the bottom to create like a little nest. So I made little prosciutto nests, and now I'm gonna fill them up with the egg. So I cracked an egg into each little nest, and basically I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of seasoning like black pepper and maybe some garlic. But here I got the pesto and some tomatoes, and I'm going to wait till they cook and then add like a layer of pesto and tomato on top to kind of garnish it. But because I'm scared of overflowing, I don't want to put anything in there just in case. So I'm just gonna like let it cook and then add that as toppings. I know they look really messy, but basically I cracked black pepper, I put some chili powder and some garlic seasoning, and we're gonna see how this looks when it comes out. So obviously you can top each one with whatever you want. I decided to do some baby tomatoes, some pesto, and I decided to get some of the Toscano cheese and kind of like cut it up into little pieces, and then I'll put it back in the oven and let it sit for like a minute or two just to kind of let everything like melt together, and then we'll see how it goes. I think my egg nests are ready. So obviously you want the whites to be cooked, and I think the idea is for the egg yolk to stay kind of runny. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the toppings on. Alright, everything has melted a little bit, and now I'm gonna take them out of the little muffin trays. See how it looks. These actually look so cute. They came out so nice. I am so excited to cut one open and see what it looks like. But look at that. They look like little mini pies or something, like little tarts. Alright, we're gonna cut into one and see. I don't know if the egg is gonna be runny or not, but I might have overcooked it. Yeah, the egg is not runny, but that's okay. It still looks very delicious in the inside. Do you approve? Mm-hmm. They're good? They're super good. And Coco is begging for some. So now I'm gonna make a slaw that basically I'm gonna use this cruciferous crunch kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, green cabbage, and red cabbage from Trader Joe's. And I got a jar, I got some cilantro, I got shallot, I got whole carrots. I'm gonna chop up everything really well, put it inside this jar. We're gonna marinate it and then let it sit, and then we'll have a very delicious slaw that'll be ready to use on tacos or on a side dish or on top of everything pretty much. Now I'm gonna fill the rest of the jar up with this cruciferous crunch. So I actually ended up throwing everything in the jar into a bowl so I could actually mix it before throwing it back in the bowl, so that way it's like evenly mixed instead of just having everything layered. But yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there. Maybe it's better to throw everything in a bowl first and then in the jar. So now everything is evenly mixed inside the jar, and now I'm gonna make the dressing for the slaw. Now I have half a cup of rice vinegar, and now I'm throwing in half a cup of water. And now we're gonna bring this to a boil. Now that it's boiling, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of ground mustard seed. And now I'm gonna mix it, and then I've seen people use sugar in this. I'm not gonna bother putting sugar. I decided I'm gonna go ahead and add some garlic powder to it, and also some ginger, because why not? I'm gonna go ahead and add this into the jar. I'm gonna shake it up and then put it in the fridge and let it marinate so that by tonight when we have tacos, it'll be ready. It's Taco Tuesday, so we're going to make fish tacos. So I found this at Trader Joe's. It is breaded cod fillets. These are the tortillas we're going to use. Jeremy's going to have these organic blue corn and wheat tortillas, and then I'm going to have these carb savvy tortillas made with whole wheat. And we're going to be using the slaw that I made earlier. I'm also going to make an avocado crema. For the avocado crema, I'm going to be using obviously avocado. I'm going to be using some sour cream. I'm going to use lime juice, salt, and I'm going to use a little pinch of this habanero lime cilantro kind of hot sauce, but just a little pinch just to give it a little bit of spice. I just opened this avocado and found it looking like this, and I'm so sad. So I've got 2 very overly ripe avocados in here, the juice of 1 lime and half a cup of sour cream. I'm going to add now salt and a little pinch of this. Got my avocado crema. Tacos for Tuesday, and a Topo Chico, because tacos and Topo Chico go well. It looks crazy, but it looks a little
really pretty.
Yeah, at the same time it looks nice. So the next recipe I'm doing today is the Trader Joe's potato pancakes with asparagus and poached egg, but instead of the potato pancakes, I got the cauliflower ones. So the first thing you have to do is get a large pot of water to begin to boil. Also here I've got my cauliflower pancakes, and I got my asparagus, my eggs. So I added asparagus to the pan, and I'm also going to add some chopped garlic. My water is almost ready to throw the eggs in. I'm going to put the cauliflower pancakes inside the air fryer. You could do it in the oven or even on a pan. And I have a lovely assistant here who's gonna help me with my poached egg process. So here's the tricky part. You have to make a vortex by spinning water. And then you're gonna toss in the egg.
Kinda gotta roll it in.
Poached eggs is definitely hard, so let's see how it goes. Oh, I think it's working. And I think it's better to do one at a time. Also, I'm gonna squeeze, it said lemon juice, but I'm gonna squeeze some lime juice on the asparagus, because limes are cheaper than lemons. I don't know why. Alright, time to take it out. A spoon with like little spacers in it. There you go, 1 egg down. Cauliflower pancakes are almost ready. We got the asparagus, and we got our 4 poached eggs. 1 almost didn't make it, but we made it. Alright, we got our fancy little Eggs Benedict inspired poached egg over asparagus and a cauliflower pancake. Let's see how it goes. Okay, let's get that runny egg shot.
Oh goodness.
Something different and healthy-ish. What do you think? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
There you go.
This what is this? Cauliflower?
Cauliflower pancake, but it's made with a little bit of potato too. It's not 100% cauliflower. But, you know, something different. I'm gonna make these little mini caprese salad style little sticks. Basically, you just need grape tomatoes, basil, mozzarella. We've got my grape tomatoes here. I got my mozzarella balls. I've got basil, and adding pepperoni to give it a little bit more of like a pizza vibe. We'll see how it goes. Alright, I got my little skewers. Each one has a tomato, some basil, some pepperoni, and a mozzarella. And I've got some balsamic here, and I'm just gonna sprinkle some balsamic on top of it. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper on each one. And I'm not gonna bother putting salt because I feel like the pepperoni already gives it a saltiness. If you're not gonna do the pepperoni, then probably a sprinkle of salt would be good. But yeah, there you go. Cute little skewers, and they taste just like pizza. I'm taking inspiration again from Trader Joe's website. This is cashew chicken lettuce wraps. I'm doing this recipe with a few twists and adding a few things to it. So first of all, I'm going to use this chicken from Trader Joe's that's already cooked. I'm feeling lazy tonight and I do not feel like cooking chicken from scratch. So I'm going to use this pre-cooked chicken and just chop it up into little pieces so it looks kind of like that. The cashews that they show here are the chili and garlic ones. I could not find them at Trader Joe's. But I did find sesame honey cashews, which I felt kind of go with the vibe in this recipe. I got lettuce to be able to make the wraps out of. I've got scallions or green onions, I'm not sure which the appropriate way to say it. Mushrooms, I got ginger. I got liquid aminos to replace soy sauce. I've got some sesame oil. I've got some rice vinegar. And we're gonna make a very Asian-y chicken lettuce wrap type of dish. Let's see. I chopped up the mushrooms and I'm cooking them with a little bit of ginger right now and some oil, and then I got the chicken all chopped up here. I'm gonna be adding that in a second. I just added the chicken and the green onions. I have it at a very low heat now just so it can kind of like get warm because the chicken's already cooked. So I'm not trying to overcook it, and I also don't want the green onions to lose its crunch. So I added a little bit of rice vinegar, a little bit of sesame oil, and a little bit of the aminos or soy sauce. And now I'm going to chop up these little cashews so we can top them off, and that's pretty much it. So here's my little setup. I've got the chicken, mushroom, and green onions. We've got the crushed cashews right here and the butter lettuce, and basically you just make your own. And here, got a little healthy dinner. Approve? Mm-hmm. The cashews give it a really nice little crunch and a little sweetness to it, so actually I recommend the sesame honey cashews. Coco, you cannot have any. So another recipe I'm trying now is chia seed pudding. I just put a cup of coconut milk, which this is unsweetened and I got at Trader Joe's. And then I put half a cup of chia seeds inside. I'm gonna put a little bit of maple syrup. This is actually not from Trader Joe's. This is just like a 0-gram sugar maple syrup, but I'm gonna use this to give it some flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and mix everything together, and then basically tomorrow it'll look like pudding. Or even by tonight. It takes about 6 hours. So by tonight or tomorrow I'll have chia seed pudding, and then I can top it with different things like fruits and nuts and granola. So let's see how that goes. So here's the overnight oats the next day. As you can see, it's like solid, like you can't it becomes like an actual pudding, I guess. So it looks kind of like, the texture looks kind of like this. And I'm gonna top it with some frozen blueberries and some granola. I'm using these Trader Joe's blueberries that were frozen. So I added a little bit of granola that I had, and I got the blueberries, and I'm just gonna mix everything up. Chia seeds have a lot of omega-3s, so it's really healthy for you, and there's like fiber. So I don't really usually eat this, but I thought I'd try to maybe incorporate it for breakfast or something, I don't know. Cheers. So I'm going to make a meat and cheese board with everything that I got from Trader Joe's. So one of the things I'm going to use is this fig and olive crisps, these sesame honey cashews, which I just tried them and they're amazing. I've got Toscano cheese with black pepper, manchego cheese, we've got figs, and grilled artichoke halves that are marinated, sun-dried tomatoes, so we got some pepperoni, and we got some prosciutto. Okay, things are kind of messy right now, but basically, look at that. Got the prosciutto, pepperoni, cashews, artichokes, we got the cheeses, the sun-dried tomatoes, the little fig crackers, so we got some fig. And I decided to add some watermelon as like a little sweet factor. So we've got all kinds of flavors after. So for this next recipe, I'm doing a Cobb salad stuffed eggs inspired by this Trader Joe's recipe. Obviously you need hard-boiled eggs, and you could buy them already hard-boiled, but I am hard-boiling my eggs right now, so I'm gonna keep them boiling for about, I think, 8 minutes or so. Hopefully this works out. If you look, there's one here that kind of opened, it cracked a little bit, so that might be a fail. We'll see. So I transferred my eggs into cold water, and this is the one that cracked, but at least we got 3 eggs that made it. So the next thing I'm gonna do is cut open these eggs and then take out the yolk. So I scooped out the egg yolks from the eggs. So the next step is to add guacamole into this. I had made this recently for tacos the other night, and this is basically avocado with some sour cream, so I'm gonna use that instead. I mix it up and add a little bit of black pepper and salt, and now I'm gonna have to basically put it back inside of this as nicely as I can. Alright, I did my best. I'm going to put them in the fridge for now while I make the toppings. So I'm going to put them in here and just kind of keep them steady. So now I have this apple smoked bacon from Trader Joe's, and I'm going to put this in the air fryer and then get it all crumbly so I can use it as a topping. So I chopped up some tomatoes, and we've got some crumbled bacon pieces, and now I'm going to top off the deviled eggs. I did the best I could to top each one off with a little bit of tomato and bacon. The recipe I saw for Trader Joe's did mention to put diced chicken inside the actual egg, but I felt like that's way that's already like packed enough. I got the extra toppings in the middle because they didn't all fit. But you got some Cobb salad-esque style deviled eggs. Another fun way to eat eggs. So now I'm gonna make some skewers that I saw online at Trader Joe's. It was like a watermelon feta cheese skewer kind of thing. And basically I get watermelon, some figs, and some feta. I cut up into little pieces the feta, the fig. Obviously if I could have found real fig and not like dried figs, this is gonna work for what the concept is, but I think it would have been nicer if I had found like the actual fruit of fig, but I don't know where I can find that. And then watermelon, and now I'm gonna put them on the skewer, and then we're gonna drizzle a little bit of balsamic over it. So I drizzle the balsamic over the skewer. It looks kind of like this. The only problem is that feta does crumble easily. Now, I chose feta. The recipe I saw had like something called halloumi cheese or halloumi cheese, and I couldn't find that, so I was using feta instead. And it kind of works if you're very careful, but it does easily crumble, so I've had a few failed attempts. You got the salty from the feta. Balsamic gives you that like vinegary kind of bitter taste, and then you got the watermelon and the fig make it sweet, and it's actually really refreshing and just something like a nice little fun snack. Bon appetit.